Us humans like to think we rule the world, but in truth, we have built up our society off of the backs of giants. Within that buzzing hive of activity, a swarm pedals the cycle of life forward. Often being forgotten, bees are the unsung heroes of the environment and our dinner plate, as over 80% of our fruit and crop are pollinated by bees. But thanks to our actions against the climate of Earth, these fuzzy little pollinators are being abandoned by the ecosystem they serve. From 2006 to 2015, around 25% fewer bee species were recorded. This decline in diversity can be traced back to the human climate disaster and our other methods of environmental destruction. So how can we stop this, and what happens if we fail? To fix this problem, we have to understand it. So, why are bee species declining?
Wait, didn't you just say it was climate change?
Well, yes, but there's more to it than that. You see, most people think of climate change as a gradual increase in average global temperature, but most species can survive that. It's the other thing climate change does that's the real risk. As climate change also causes more localized extreme weather events, these relatively short extremes can be species killers that can change the environment around a species before they can adapt. This affects some species more than others, with certain species like Ceratina australensis actually seeing an increase in the range they can live, but a majority of bee species are seeing a decrease in range. For example of this, we can look at the Carajás National Forest in South America. In a study published in 2020, researchers analyzed the traits of 216 species and used two different algorithms to predict the ranges of the species from 2050 to 2070. They found that if we keep up our current path, 95% of bee species will face a decrease in habitable range.
Yeah, a world without bees sounds like paradise.
Well, let's see what the world would look like without bees. From 1949 to 2006, the U.S. saw a drop from 5.8 million honey hives to 3.3 million honeybee hives. If we continue with this trend, we will expect to see the honeybee hives becoming extremely rare by 2030. So come with me and you'll see a world of zero pollination. Let's jump 30 years in the future and see how a lack of bees will affect the world. 2053, the last of the bees buzzes about an unrecognizable ecosystem. This strange dark savanna is what remains of the Amazon rainforest. Deforestation has cut it to shreds, leaving a dead wasteland. Across the world, humanity faces a major food shortage. The majority of produce humans rely themselves on pollinators like bees to survive. The world is devoid of color, and a ripple is sent through the food chain. The creatures that survive off pollinated plants will collapse. Flowering plants will go extinct, leaving a hot hellscape devoid of color. Along with the destruction directly caused by climate change, with the bee populations gone, produce production will become a very expensive endeavor requiring artificial pollinators.
Geez, that's a lot worse than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it turns out thanks to humans' actions, we've destroyed our own food source that our little yellow friends provide us.
Well, how do we stop it?
That's the hard part. On top of stopping climate change, you can try to live a more pollinator-friendly lifestyle. For example, we could try to phase out modern pesticides in exchange for more expensive but more precise alternatives. We could create bee-friendly gardens with native flowers in cities, and don't kill bees. Just let them be. Most importantly, we need to push our politicians and government officials to do everything they can and more to help bees and other pollinators. We should strive for a world where we can provide a healthy food for bees, and bees can give us beautiful flowers.